Hiya there again. As a writer, I have to use an awful lot of different tools. One thing obviously is the computer. I have a collection of two lovely Apple computers. My laptop is one of the joys of life, but the other computer is what I do most of the work on. I also have to have a massive whiteboard, because it's on the whiteboard that I do all the basic initial plotting and working out. I have to carry notepads with me. So this is my Midori Traveller that stays within my pocket all the time. It has one section which is just for notes about the stories I'm writing currently and ideas for future stories. And I've also got a section for making notes of all the things I have to remember to do in a day. And a diary, which is lovely. But the most important thing really for me is paper and pens. I always have a lot of notepads nearby. I always have a lot of pens. I thought it'd be interesting to do a video just about pens and pencils and what I use, because I've had a lifetime using pens and pencils. When I was setting out as a computer salesman, the one thing that all sales reps in the 1980s used to have was a decent cross pen, a BIRO, so that you could give it to customers to sign checks, sign your orders and everything else. And I discovered that actually I liked using it so much that a pencil would be nice as well, so I got myself a little cross pencil which works ever so well even now. And I decided that I would expand my collection and get myself a nice fountain pen to use whenever I was working on long bids. I once worked on a tender for a local government deal that would have been worth several £1,000,000, and the tender came out to several hundred pages, and I had to have a decent pen for that. But then I also had to have a nice pen that I could use red ink in, so that when I was working on a 200-page document I could mark up all of the corrections and everything. Unfortunately, some of these pens failed over the years, but cross being cross, giving a lifetime guarantee, when the red pen died, they replaced it free of charge with this nice one, which I still use every book, even now. And then when the gold pen died, they sent me a replacement gold pen. I was very happy with that. But I have to admit that much though I love my cross pens, I'm much happier with my more recent pens. This was a Churchill, a Conway Stewart Churchill, which is the first pen I bought with a good size advance from publishing books. And I wanted a pen that was a bit fatter in the hand and just felt more elegant, to my way of thinking. This was that pen. I should apologise for the snoring in the background. It's not people watching, it's the dog. After some time, unfortunately, pistol shooting was banned in the UK, and the government gave a certain amount of money to people who had invested a lot of cash in pistols, so that they could be compensated a little bit for the loss of their sport. And with that money, I decided rather than splashing the money on something a bit stupid, I would buy myself a pen that would reflect my interest in good quality workmanship and metalwork. And I bought this, a solid silver Drake from Conway Stewart, which has a wonderful weight in the hand. Very relaxing to use because you don't have to put any pressure on the nib whatsoever. It just flows, and you can write for hours with that very comfortably. In fact, I liked Conway Stewart pens so much that I started chatting to the managing director, which led to a series called the Detection Collection. And the first of this series is the Katie Jecks pen. Now, I don't know if you can see here, but this resin that it's made from has got all sorts of greens and greys and other lovely colours in it. And I use this really whenever I get an opportunity, but it's one of those pens, like my silver Drake, they will never leave the house. I don't take them out and about in case I should lose them. So I did have this need for getting something else that I could use more generally. There are two other pens that I should mention while I'm here. The first is the pen that I keep always in my pocket. I use it all the time in my Midori, and that is the Cult Pens little pocket pen. As you can see, it's absolutely tiny, far too small for me to use, but when posted it works out to a proper sized pen. And I keep this with me. It's not ideal for huge long amounts of writing, but it's absolutely perfect for keeping in a pocket when you want to have something close to hand just in case you get an idea and have to make a note. And the other pen, which has now suffered quite a lot from being in my pocket for many, many years, is the KAWECO. As you can see, this one again is a lovely pocket-sized pen, too small to use on its own, but when you post it, it becomes a fabulous large-sized pen, and I use this really a huge amount of the time. But the pen that I am using more and more often is my Visconti, the HOMO SAPIENS, which is just stunning because this pen never scratches, never gets damaged. It's got brass decorations on it, the clip's brass. It's got a good strong clip on it which holds in any pocket. And the thing I really love about this, well, there's two things really. The first is that it's very, very quick to get it out and use it because it's got a bayonet fixing. Instead of a screw or just a push-on, pull-off cap, it's got this lovely bayonet fixing which is quick to use and very, very easy. And the other thing I love about it is it's got a massive ink reservoir. It must take at least 2 to 3 times the ink that a standard converter would use in most pens. And so this is the pen I use when I go out and do research because I can write with this for a day and it won't run out. I should also mention that I love using pencils, and the pencils I always buy now are these. They're Tombows, which is a Japanese manufacturer. They've got a lovely feel to them and they're slightly larger than the average pencil. They're slightly fatter. I use them almost all the time with a FABER CASTELL rubber that you can put on the end to protect your pockets and then stick it on the back so that when you're working you can use it. But as you can see, I do use these pencils to the very last available section. And there is one other pencil that I always keep with me whenever I'm in the house, or sometimes when I go out, but not too often because I have lost one of these before and they're hideously expensive. But this is a FABER CASTELL, a GRAF from FABER CASTELL perfect pencil. Very simple. You've got a pencil protection that fits onto the back to extend the size of the pencil. On the back here you've also got a rubber if you actually need it. But the thing that I love about these is that it means that as the pencil gets shorter and shorter, you just stick this pencil extender on the back and you can carry on using the pencil for a lot longer. So you get the maximum use out of every possible part of the lead in the pencil itself. Well, wasn't that exciting? Lots of talking about pencils. I have various other pencils. My daughter is waving her favourite at me, but that's something I use for sketching and drawing, not something I use for writing. There are 2 or 3 others that I use, so maybe one day I'll go into another discussion about clutch pencils with all the different types of lead. But apart from that, for now, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this, first off, please do comment, and if you've got any ideas, we're thinking about putting together a video that is just questions and answers. So any ideas, any questions, any comments you've got, put them in the comment section at the bottom and then hopefully we can incorporate them into another future video. Do please subscribe. There will be a new video every Thursday, but it's nice sometimes if you subscribe because then you get pre-warned when something's coming up. And apart from that, don't forget to favourite, don't forget to share, don't forget to tell other people about the video so that they can have a look at them as well. And if you want, you could also tell other people about my books, and then they might buy them, and then I can afford to get another camera and put more videos up, which is an appealing concept as well. So thank you very much for your time watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and speak to you soon. Cheers, take care.